Hey guys, welcome back to Battlefront updates and a very interesting Star Wars Battlefront news video. It seems like over the last 24 hours EA has sent out surveys to some of the Battlefront players asking some very thorough and interesting questions about the current game, season pass and also the sequels. Unfortunately, it seems like only a handful of people actually got this survey, and I've had a hard time actually getting images of the real questions and so on, meaning that I will be basing most of this info on Reddit posts and a subscriber on Twitter. So take some of the info with a grain of salt, as I haven't seen the full survey myself. Basically, this was a very thorough survey talking about both the current game, the season pass and the future Battlefront games and what we want in them. The image I did manage to get a hold of was this, where you get the chance to rank the different combat types based on what you would prefer to see in the future Battlefront games. And this is extremely interesting, as it means that they are already considering stuff like space to ground combat, space combat and so on. Some other details I found out was that the survey seems to be very thorough and it left a lot of space to write very detailed answers. It took more than 1 hour to fill out for some people. Another thing it asked was for your expectations of the season pass and if you thought Force Awakens content would be in it. The last part was something I picked up from a Reddit comment, so I'm not 100% sure how accurate it is, but my guess is basically that they wanted to know how many who thought Force Awakens would be in the season pass even though it isn't, or something like that. Another very interesting thing I picked up was that it seems like one question was based around mixing eras. The way I understood it is that they asked if you would be fine with stuff like seeing Anakin Skywalker and Han Solo on the battlefield at the same time. It seems like they basically want to know how we see on authenticity and so on. They also asked about the Clone Wars and how we see on future use of content from the Clone Wars in the Battlefront sequels, which I find extremely interesting. Up until now I've had the impression that Clone Wars was sort of out of the question for Battlefront and that they would focus on the Force Awakens for the next Battlefront game, but the fact that they have this survey with all these options makes it seem like they are open for whatever the community prefers. I mean, it isn't as easy as just asking a few hundred people and choosing the most picked answer, but you understand what I mean. They wouldn't have the Clone Wars in the survey for no reason. Some other topics I know was touched upon was the new game mode Turning Point that arrived with the Battle of Jakku, and also that they had a section about the current game and how it could be improved, what was good and what was bad and so on. To summarize, it simply seems like they are at least acknowledging all of the things that we have missed in this game. Space battles, space to ground, Clone Wars, The Force Awakens and so on, which is very good news. Now it's just down to deciding what they have the resources to create and what people want the most, I guess. I'm fairly sure that the season pass content is most likely already decided, at least the general details, and the questions surrounding the eras are most likely directed to future games. Anyways, if any of you have answered the survey, make sure to leave a comment below and tell us as much as you can about it. And if you haven't already, check your email inbox for the survey. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.